This is day 6 of Inktober, and I thought I'd do something just really playful tonight. Like I don't do it every night. That was heaps of fun. This one here came from a drawing I did a few years ago and took on a life further than what I thought it would go. So this is the original drawing. I had a couple of different ideas, at least 3 ideas about what I do, working off cartoons that I've developed to a point. This is the one that kind of wanted to come forward and play tonight. It's really interesting in following that kind of real fun vibe, which is like, oh, what's going to be the most fun? The Frankie character was a really fun thing for me to draw when I first drew it. Very playful and childlike, but also just probably one of the first drawings that I did that was really coming from my child self without me really understanding what I was doing. And then when I drew it tonight, I just sort of followed the drawing that I had done originally, and then this idea came along the way to actually put him in a second-hand parts shop, and that he's actually escaping from the place where he got his hands. And I also used the white Posca brush pen tonight, which I've had for I think about a year, and I haven't really known what Posca pens were, and I really haven't played with it until very recently. The brush pen has a little sort of pump action top to get the paint or the ink flowing in it, and that's what I use to get a bit of the white, giving a little bit more tonal variation to push some of the cartoon out a bit from the colour of the glass, which is kind of like a greeny grey colour. So I hope that works. I was also running out of room. I could have had a bigger square to work in, but I'm right at the bottom of the wardrobe. So I suppose the process with this cartoon is really about giving myself permission to just go with the fun energy of what pops into my head and just to keep following that plot as it pops in. So I didn't know the drawing was going to end up like this because I didn't practice it last night, and it was just something that I kind of decided in the 5 minutes before I sat down to do it that I would do this drawing. It's also, I'm finding, because of the size of the glass that I've got to draw on, it's sort of affecting my ideas around which cartoons I'm going to do, because I've done a lot of my cartoons in different size formats. I haven't really stuck to the same size frame. I've just drawn a frame around what I draw. I was sort of working with a couple of ideas that weren't going to fit in this frame, but the Frankie one felt like it was workable, but also felt like it was fun, and I wanted to do something really like fun, which is what I've been doing for the last few nights. Yeah, I'm really glad I'm doing this Inktober thing. It's something to look forward to at the end of the day. It's kept me up late at night because I get very excited and stimulated from just doing the process and making a little video as I go along and talking a little bit about my process, which I feel is important for me. And also I'm finding that a lot of people who think they can't draw but would like to just really need a few insights into the process of how to begin and how to think about doing it, and learning more about how drawing is based on really simple building block formulas of like drawing very simple shapes, big shapes to little shapes. Start on the big shapes first and then sort of refine your drawing as you go along, but avoid the detail until you really get to a place where the detail is the last thing to add. But also allowing your process to come from a place of imagination and whimsy rather than that adult place of structure where it gets, for me, very stagnant and very dry, and I get to a place where it's like, oh, actually I don't want to do a landscape or a still life drawing. I just want to have fun. That's probably why I've ended up doing a lot of cartoons, because that's what's real fun for me. Although I can do very formal drawing, and I've enjoyed it at times. I definitely enjoyed my study at TAFE College when I was doing art as a rehabilitation process from my long-term illness, and I'm glad that I know how to do it and I've got examples of that work. But what the cartoon stuff is for me is that's an expression of who I really am. That's an expression of my magical side, and it's something that I don't get to see unless it's in picture form. I can express it as I'm going through the world to other people and they get to see it, and I often have comments about how I present myself to the world and people enjoy that, but I actually don't get to experience it other than through my art for a long-term sort of process. Yes, in the moment when I'm playing my music, great, that's really fabulous, but it's a momentary experience. It's not something I can hold on to or I can look at later on. I can just go, wow, that was great and I really enjoyed it. But with art, not only do I enjoy the process of doing it, but later on I can stick it up on the wall and keep enjoying it. And that is what makes me feel really rich. Hope you've enjoyed this evening. See you later. Bye.